think if the end circle gets down to some Farius Shens, as we're going to be jumping right into the action, actually, ladies and gentlemen. Wolves Kai Bao fighting against DRG's Feng. Feng getting a little bit of his own medicine here, taking a fight against Wolves Kai Bao with the blue dagger in hand, getting dangerously low here. Does have that hang sword. Looks like Feng is going to end up switching to his comfort weapon. They're always having that gray dagger in the back pocket, even this early on into the game here. You're going to see if he can get an armor swap off, but it is going to go down pretty fast. And it looks like Feng having a little bit of a rough start to the day today. We're going to see Frostivus, purple spear in hand already. We saw that happen last game as well, getting that purple spear. Jushi now on the nunchucks, though, is going to be able to deal a decent amount of damage off onto him already. Trying to see if he can go for a charge into the Nej's Might, but the meter double. And oh my goodness, Jushi throwing the trigger, which we very rarely see happen. But it's going to be unexpected for these players to have that getting thrown. And Frostivus is going to end up going down here. J-Team's Paste on the other side, blue spear in hand, is going to be trying to pick up a kill onto JDG's Verse. Was able to find himself an armor swap, and it looks like there is one more player up on top. It's going to be Bauda's Action trying to get that kill as well. As we're flipping in, JLZS already has 74% on the ultimate for Z-Ping here, so is going to be able to start and pop that if he needs to. Getting that 1-2 uppercut into the flip around. Charge 1.0, all LMB coming out from that, as JL's AS is going to try and go for that 1-2, getting him up into the air, into that crouching RMB, trying to see if he can make some more plays onto Arano. Arano trying to run away as fast as possible, does have that ultimate active, so is going to be able to regain some of this health, but JL's AS doing a very phenomenal job at making sure it doesn't go too high up, losing all of that shield again. It's the 1-2 coming out from JL's AS into the charge. LMB scale rushing away is going to be Arano, but Wang Liang there already with a gold pole sword in hand, able to take so much damage off on those scale rushes. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, another scale rush coming up from Wang Liang. We're going to see Arano trying to make something happen to get away here. Just needs to create enough space to be able to put a good amount of distance between the two, but these players are just not going to give up. AS able to get an armor swap as well, has that armor back in hand, and Arano able to get a full reset here as all of these players are back up to full health.
Love how AS 1-2'd off that ult pop there against Arano. We see time and time again the Z-Pings off that ult proc, they linger the frames and they get the parry off if you see the blue. So AS with the 1-2 there, just playing it safe. That was very, very nice to watch there. If you guys caught it, I mean, that was very clean there from AS. Make sure he stays safe off of that. But Wang Liang against Arano still going at it. Gold poster in the hand onto Wang Liang very early into game number 2 with a gold weapon, and we see the damage coming into play. Arano almost with that ult back online. Massive uppercut there for Arano onto Wang Liang. Big damage onto Wang Liang. Wang Liang does have that ultimate if he needs it. Trying to overhaul. It looks like it might proc. He is going to be able to have the space to go ahead and call it on in. Wang Liang now is going to go ahead and swap on over to the dagger. He gets stuck on the rocks. Still manages to stay free for the time being. AS still on the chase, trying to see if he can find the damage onto Wang Liang, but we see the sustain here from the Z-Ping. The health just coming back quickly. The ult cancellation there because you're back in full health. That's Z-Ping. Wang Liang now 60% on that ult and counting. Verse against Star. Star's gonna fall off this. We only caught the last hit of this scrap. It was an R&B focus there from Verse from the blue fan. AS and Wang Liang still going at it. Arano, this is a third-party season here for all three players. Wang Liang now being the one chased down, trying to see if he can find some damage onto one of these players to focus the other player onto each other, but looks like these players are not going to let this chase down. Arano full grappling in. AS as well, trying to find a cut angle to try to see if he can get the elimination here. But look at the movement coming into play here from Arano. You're gonna have to catch me, he's saying. Frostivus and pace in the zone, trying to break Frostivus' ankles, but Frostivus with nice storm camp there. Make sure he continues to has his eyes onto Pace, and he's putting up a lot of damage. A massive double jump parry there from Frostivus onto Pace, and that big damage pop comes in off the nunchucks. Freeze connector for Pace. F called in there for Frostivus this time around, trying to catch the dodge on the R&B. No freeze off of this, catches the LMB Pro. R&B focus follow-up, doesn't go for the extension off of this. Now Frostivus is gonna have time to pop this ultimate. LMB Pro there for Frostivus. Now he spins it back to dash into the R&B 1-2 for Frostivus, and Pace is gonna fall off of this. Cam 1 against Kai Bao. Purple armor here for Kai Bao. Cam 1 now with the blue armor, probably doesn't have any white heals, so he is gonna have to fight with just this health alone. Kai Bao with the purple longsword in hand. Massive parry there for Kai Bao to Cam 1. R&B focus connects as well. Full damage. Tries to go in with a shift parry. Does not manage to do so. B3 called in. F called in for the opposing Farrier. Cam 1 now trying to create the space and trying to back up. We got this pressure coming into play from Kai Bao, and Wally Yong's in the mix. He might turn around if he hears these players scrapping off. Arano to elimination onto Fong, and Fong falling. Does have another soul, I believe, inside the mix. I don't see him in the top 6. I don't see Fong. Where you at, Fong? There he is. Yeah, he's out of game number 2. He is going to be eliminated. Cam 1 trying to respond with some damage onto Kai Bao. And this is going to be a full reset here for both of these players.
Something interesting too, ladies and gentlemen, I did believe earlier, we thought that Cam 1 was going to be playing on the Temi, and it looked like they've switched heroes, and they're the only Faria playing that V1 instead of playing on the traditional Faria ultimate with the pillar that we see usually the V3. We're seeing coming out straight away just with the V1 here, and interesting play, a lot different from what we're usually seeing, but as we're saying, he's not used to how the meta's worked so far and how these certain plays are. He's got his own unique play style, and we're seeing how it's going to interact with these other players right now. Looks like he is putting in a decent amount of work with the mech right now, keeping him safe for a little while, but these players are going to be closing in very quickly as soon as this ult's about to go down. As it does here, Cam 1 only gray weapons as well, having a bit of a tough time, but is going to get 2 charged LMBs off, on to, I believe, Wang Liang in the corner there. As this Realm of Yang is going to start to drop, these players are going to start to enter. 2 players have already gone inside. It looks like we are going to see Alliance's Frostivus versus Bauda's Action, JDG versus Fun Plus Phoenix on the other side there, and it looks like somebody might be getting a free Yang in number 3 as they take to the skies, both of them going high. Frostivus trying to send up a couple of bow shots. Doesn't connect onto anything here. It's going to be dual blades versus Hangsword. Tries to go for that overhold here. So we are going to see him go for that uppercut while Action's overholding here. F1, F2 coming out for Frostivus here. So we are going to see him get hit by an uppercut combo. Action now going for the extension from the grapple onto the dual blades here. Tries to go for that overhold. Pillar is going to get dropped into the full charge. Gets the butt end of that off, but Frostivus is going to ult, trying to guard that mech spot here. Didn't want to ult before Action did here, but now it's going to be a little bit of trouble for Frostivus as he does get hit by that first mech shot from the turret, as we are going to see him get hit by another one. Oh my goodness. Frostivus not doing a great job at being able to dodge these here. He's just going to end up hopping out of that here. Gets hit with the uppercut. ACCA going into grapple extension here. We're going to see him try and go for the overhold, playing this like a 3-pad, ladies and gentlemen. Gets the LMB Prio again into the grapple extension. Gets it again. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, Alliance Frostivus treating that like a, oh my goodness. Good old katana combos, ladies and gentlemen, on the Hangsword, showing off very great skill and technique, picking himself up a good bit of loot, a very nice buff, and a coveted golden weapon.
I just got PTSD, Seb. I just got PTSD. I've 3 banned 0 banned Frost before.
The amount of times that you have done that to me over and over and over again, I swear to God, I'm getting flashbacks too.
I just got PTSD. I felt like I was in Celestial Temple there fighting Frostivus back when he was back in NA. I mean, triple LMB Prials back to back. I mean, we saw Action there. Not happy about that one with the triple prior, and Frostivus with the momentum off the Yang, putting up a lot of pressure onto Verse. Verse now trying to get inside the mech. Big damage there for Frostivus, baiting out that Faria mech very quickly there, and still applying the pressure here onto the mech with these focus attacks. Verse is gonna be forced to try to back up. Frostivus is gonna go ahead and repair this bow, trying to lay down some more pressure once he gets back up off of this Verse, though. Still not fully back to full health. The pressure is now coming back into play here for Frostivus, and Verse still trying to create the space, but he has Juchi and Frostivus. Frostivus with full momentum. There goes the Tesla enchantment connecting there onto the Faria mech, so it's just a matter of time. Frostivus with that gold greatsword in hand is gonna triple charge down, trying to find an opening. Gonna go ahead and quick swap to the Hunk Sword very quickly there from the Greatsword. Frostivus and Verse still going at it. Big parry there from Juchi onto Verse. Verse does look like he's still getting focused. That is very beautiful target selection. That Faria has no ult. The Tesla, though, still trying to apply the pressure onto Verse as well. Looks like Frostivus is just trying to wait this out. Juchi He's gonna eat up some damage here. Now it looks like the Tesla's gonna be chosen out of the bunch. You are gonna have to try to back up, but Frostivus, he wants to put up the smoke on anybody right now. Trying to pick up another elimination on the board. Currently with 2. He's gonna go ahead and invest this Justina ultimate this time around. Massive R&B, catches the scale rush there. Does get the damage. Yuchi, both of these players just trying to avoid Frostivus right now. Frostivus just controlling the full battlefield right now. He is playing the pressure onto both of these players. Freeze does not connect off of this. Big R&B focus connects there, and that's the elimination for Frostivus. That's a beautiful showing there from Frostivus. Now he is going to cancel that ultimate. Gonna save 40% off of this. Still has Vermilion's Verse Might. Still trying to get active against Verse. Verse is gonna go ahead and take the damage onto Frostivus off the LB focus there from the dagger. Looks like the spin back does not connect it for Frostivus. The follow-up LB does not as well. Verse still trying to get some chip damage here. The follow-up R&B is back to back into the follow-up LB. Big damage there for Frostivus. V3B can call in here for Verse for the second time around. And Frostivus now still trying to play around this. Make sure he can control the space there from the ult. And Verse trying to move on in pretty soon. F called in there for Verse. Overholding now. The mech up once again for Verse. And Frostivus applying a lot of pressure onto these players right now. He has done his job. He just has to wait this out. Still has Vermilion's Burst Might. 26 seconds and counting here for Frostivus. 1-2. Gets hit off the first missile though. He's gonna go ahead and delay that wake up. Gets hit off the second. It's gonna be forced to pop this F pretty soon. Oh, he's gonna die to it. That's respectable. He's gonna go ahead and just give that elimination up to him. And he's gonna go ahead and just take his Vermilion's Burst Might to the Soul Altar and come back to this game number 2.
What a crazy amount of pressure from Frostivus there. Almost able to come away with both of those eliminations, but he saw the timer on his Vermilion's Bird Might, just said, you know what, I'll let him have the kill because I do not want to get caught out dying at such low HP, going down with no Vermilion's Bird Might and losing my footing into this game, because right now Frostivus is on fire, ladies and gentlemen. Wolves Kai Bao as well with 3 eliminations on the board, both of them tied at 3. Frostivus and Kai Bao. As we are going to see, this second Realm of Yang is going to start to spawn pretty soon here. A few seconds left on that. We are seeing a couple of players. Wang Liang does have that Valiant challenge on them, seeing if they can pick up a few extra bit of Darktide coins after completing this quest. And it looks like the bottom of the map, the entire lower side where we've seen covered in sand, no one wanting to engage onto that Spirit Well or those Realms of Yang portals. It looks like everyone's going to be contesting that top one and the rest of the city of Tang. As we're going to be going to push this in, Alliance, it'd be so amazing to see Frostivus and Kai Bao going at it in the Realm of Yang here. The 2 top players of this game right now going head to head in the Realm of Yang. Definitely the one that I want to see. We might get it, we might not, as we're going to see as we go. And it looks like Wang Liang going to grief the Yang a little bit here. And Kai Bao deciding to engage onto this fight instead of opting for the Realm fight. As it looks like Frostivus might be able to get away with a little bit of a cheeky free Yang here. But nope, Kai Bao. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Creatives, take it away.
Alrighty. Wolves is Kai Bao against Alliance Frostivus. Frostivus hot right now off of these Yangs and that pressure outside of Yang as well. Gold pulls her in the hand for Frostivus. He's going to go ahead and start up high this time around. Overholding, trying to find an opening for himself there against Kai Bao. Army focus misses. Nice weave there from Frostivus, crossing up. Army prowl there for Kai Bao. Gonna be forced to pop this F. Frostivus. Click comes in off the focus there. He's gonna weave that once again. F caught in for Kai Bao this time around. And now one catch can do a lot of damage for all of these players. That's LB prowl once again for Frostivus. Into the raw dragon. The freeze connects as well. He's gonna wait this out. Slots back, catches LB prowl once again. Go ahead for the standard 1.0 off the grapple. Into the freeze follow-up. And Frostivus with a nice COD there from the Justina, showing up here in the second Realm of Yang. JJH Star against JDG's Verse. Frostivus, I see you, my boy. RB Pryor for Star against Verse. F caught in here for Verse. Frostivus coming in hot right now. Hold on, I can't get over the TOD, showing up here in the second Realm of Yang in the Pro League. Verse, Crutch LMB, RB onto Star. Sapine versus Feria here in the second Realm of Yang for this for game number 2. Big parry there from Star into the sap. There's a lot of health back there off of that. RB focus connects, a lot of follow up there off the V3, and this is why the V3 is nice there opposed from the V1. That V3B can give you that knockback to get that focus attack in, and it lets you play around that mech as well. And then once that V3 beacon is down, the aim assist from these players always locks onto the beacon if you're playing around that. So the V3, you know, it's pretty much always been standard. And we see Cam 1, that's a nice scare rush prowl there from Star onto Verse. Massive scare rush to the follow-up as well off the purple pulse sword, trying to fish for another one. He's gonna go ahead and hot swap to the fan. Star catches the prowl once again. Gonna go ahead to the Oh, goes for the R&B LB. Tries to go for the carousel off the second grapple. Does not manage to do so. Another R&B 2 pick there from Star onto Verse. Applying a lot of pressure onto Verse. Lots of pressure. F caught in for Verse. And it's going to be a timeout for both players. Both players smiling and out. And that's going to be our second Realm of Yang of game number 2.
Oh my goodness. Frostivus bringing out that NA energy right now, that North America ACCA that we see, just the way that he's able to catch prio on all of these players time and time again with that Hung Sword, using the... When we saw Katana coming into this game, it wasn't as favored just due to the lack of its movement, the way that the moves were created. You could do these combos, but there were so many weapons that were better. And now that they've put this Katana Con generic, the Hung Sword, into the game, the movement that they gave this weapon is now making it such a prominent weapon in our solos and even in our trios games, with the Golden Jade Aurora Burst being a huge part of taking lots of space in those end circles. Seeing all of these OG combos, that lots of the combos that we were seeing a lot earlier in the game, the ACCA combos, the grapple extensions going into the charged LMBs. It's so great to see Frostivus being able to pull a TOD off of that as well. It's just absolutely insane, especially in the Pro League, where we don't often get to see these fights go as these 1v1s into a TOD. Frostivus doing so, making it very nice, and oh my goodness, coming in with a charged LMB from the golden longsword that he must have picked up from the Morris Blessing in the Realm of Yang there, along with that White Tiger prowess buff that he got as well. Wolves Kai Bao, now we're following him as he's trying to follow some of these players around. We're all playing Ring Around the Rosie with this hut, as these players are trying to find one player and get them low enough. And it looks like Kai Bao might start to become the target here, as JJH's Star now getting heavily focused on by the rest of these players. JJ Star getting uppercut combo by Frostivus into the 1-2, into the charged attack as well, but JJ Star is going to end up going out to JLAS. Kai Bao trying to get that Soul Bloom, is going to be able to come away with it and gets out of there as fast as possible. AS picking up 2 cheeky kills there with the cannon, coming through, stealing those away, giving Kai Bao the chance to pick up that Soul Bloom essence.
Imagine if Frostivus would have pick up that elimination there near the zone. There was a lot of players there. He had the White Tigers buff. If he would have picked that elimination there, he would have done a lot of damage to everybody around there. So that would have been very nice to watch. But now he's going to focus by 2 players here. He's going to use a dash to try to back up. 1 dash invested, spins back the second, does not catch the freeze off of this. So go ahead and use the third to completely back up. Wang Liang with the grapple distance does manage to get the grapple stun onto Frostivus, and Frostivus now trying to back up. He has a lot of players on his show right now. Common armor soft there for Frostivus to be able to still try to create the space. Nice scare rush in. If he can get inside the temple, damage comes into play. F caught in for Frostivus. 3 players still on his show. I believe it's all Zips. It's all Zips chasing down Frostivus. Frostivus trying to stay up. Manages to catch another common armor swap right now. Spins back the LMB follow up there to avoid getting parried. Beautifully done there from Frostivus. Still trying to stay up, but all the Zapines and now a fairy in the back end, all chasing down Frostivus. Grapple LMB to the area R&B there for Arano. Catches the LMB prowl there onto Frostivus. Clint Cummings off the scare rush. And the follow-up assassin's lunge there for Arano. And that's super unfortunate there for Frostivus. Getting eliminated with 4 eliminations on the board in the top 5. But still, what an outstanding showing there for Frostivus. Wang Liang with 1, Arano now with 3 off of that elimination there from onto Frostivus. JL's AS with 2, JJH Star with 2 eliminated already, and Wolves is Kai Bao with 3 as well. So we have a tie with the 3 eliminations there from EWG Arano, and Wolves is Kai Bao. Wang Liang both fan in hand on the Zapine. Gold Pulsar in the back pocket as well if he needs it. Now Zapings are out once again, and the majority of the favors are towards the Zapings, and we saw it there against Frostivus. The Zapings going up against the Justinas. I mean, once again, it's standard. It's pretty standard. We see this time and time again. JL's AS, gold, purple pole sword in hand. I believe it was 2 purple weapons in the back pocket as well. Wolves is Kai Bao now is gonna cut noise. He's gonna wait this out. Gonna wait for the zone to start moving on in. Purple dual halberds, purple longsword in the back pocket. Valiant challenge there for JL's AS. He's gonna go ahead and reveal his location. He wants to get active and, you know, fight everybody around him. So he's gonna pick that up. Arano, gold pole sword and a gold longsword here for EWG Arano. You're gonna see him here on the Zapine once again. This is just a waiting period here. We have our random bane spawned in zone 4, 17 seconds for the zone to completely spread. Oh, we got a potential board. I believe that was damage done. That was the right-hand side there for the rage side, and the stamina side, I did not catch a glimpse of that. It was too quick.
It was the same. The grapple distance.
It was the right side?
It was the right side, yeah. The damage done versus damage against, it's a pretty good debate on what is going to be better. As the season moves forward, we're going to see these players sort of figuring out exactly what they like to do, which glyphs match their playstyles the most. We're going to see Wang Liang trying to join into these, trying to get some spoils from that spirit well that was captured here, as JLS is going to just back off, able to pick up a few things there, but not too much that he didn't already have, as we are going to see him back off. Wang Liang going to try and pick up some little extra weapons here and getting back for a little bit of a reset. But yeah, the damage done on the Z-Ping seems like a very sound option, whereas the damage taken, you have that option for taking a lot of damage because the sustain on Z-Ping is so much compared to these other heroes. You're able to heal all of that back, and healing that back in turn gives you more and more rage. So it really depends. We're going to see how it plays out in the future. These players are going to be adapting and changing it. This is the first week that this new potential system has been implemented into the Pro League. They've had a few weeks to play around with it in scrims and in just the regular patch. Wang Liang there stashing a little purple armor is going to pick up another one and go and try and heal that up. As these players are starting to close in, another random Bane is going to be popping out pretty much on top of where everybody has stationed themselves. They're going to have to end up moving around, trying to see if they can avoid this. But yeah, what do you think? Do you think it's more useful to use the damage taken or damage done on the Z-Ping? The pros and cons of both in your eyes.
I feel like if you are on the side where the majority of the pings are still up, like how it is in this lobby, you want to be running that right-hand side where it's damage done. But like last game where Frost was the loans, the ping, getting that damage taken was, you know, it's all situational in that aspect. And you want to get the board all the way across. If we see, we don't have a 2-2 split where they're running damage done and damage taken, because I think of that last node that gives you that damage reduction if you pop the ult. So I think it's all situational, and it's also if how you feel in these games, you know, like, are you a very big aggressor? Like, how is your damage looking throughout, you know, the game? It's like, are you putting up a lot of damage? You know, you'll run damage done, you know, but if you're just not being able to find anything fitting for yourself, you can go ahead and swap on over that glyph board and go towards the damage taken for a change. You know, it has a lot of variety in what you can do with the glyph board, and that's what's very interesting now showing up here for the Pro League, that, you know, it's going to be a 50-50. A lot of these players, you know, they have a hot start for some of these games, and a lot of these other players have a better day than they usually do. So I think just having that versatility, or where you're able to, you know, swap on out and see what you want to run and how you're doing throughout the day, it's pretty much is what the determination of what you're gonna run. But on Z-Ping, I saw in the scrims the standard was damage taken, because it makes sense, you know. I mean, if you're Z-Ping and you trying to be as sustainable as possible, Kai Bao's gonna be taken out to the zone here, so he is gonna end his run here, running inside the zone. Wang Liang as well, falling inside the zone. Arano picks up elimination onto Kai Bao. AES against Arano here for a last 1v1. Z-Ping vs Z-Ping, all running that blue. Clean skin on Z-Ping. R&B proud there for Arano. It's gonna be quick into the pole source stop. R&B on the ground, jump LMB ×2. Procs out to be pretty quickly there, and that's a quick showing there for Arano. Picking that nice elimination on the board, and I'm not even sure who that MVP goes to. I think Arano. I think that's 5 on the board there for Arano. He had 4 eliminations, I believe, so he is going to be our MVP for game number 2.